Every time we upload a file, our effort gets reviewed, criticized, assessed. There's only two possible outcomes: accepted or rejected. Sometimes it seems justified, but sometimes it makes absolutely no sense. It feels random. And honestly, it is. But more importantly, let me tell you, there is a solution. One that works mathematically. Let me tell you a story.
It was around 2012 where I went for a study in Amsterdam. I wasn't doing too well. My mental health wasn't really good. I think it was caused by I was using substances in the weekends. I had some problems with my friends. My parents were in divorce. And one day when I was sitting in the bus, I'm not feeling well. And I was even thinking that I was starting to die. So it was like a panic attack. I never experienced something like that. And that shows the mental health that you're in, or all the alarm signs that are going off. And this reflected on my study results. In the Netherlands, you have to get 60 points to complete the first year of your studies. And you have to get 40 points at least, minimum, in order to stay. And if you don't get those 40 points, you get expelled or you get a negative advice to leave the studies. So as I was not doing too well, I only got 32 points. That was not enough. Get a letter, negative advice, you probably have to leave the studies. And yeah, of course, this is really bad. All those work for nothing. I talked with my parents. I talked about that I was not feeling well and planned. So we even visited a psychologist and we made some improvements. And after that, it went a bit better. So I also decided to talk to the dean about the situation. And I explained that I was not really doing too well. And he understood, and we made a plan. So the plan was to get all the remaining courses in the second year of the studies. And if I would complete those, I was able to stay and finish the studies. So now for me, the pressure became really high because in 1 year, I had to complete all the courses. If I would fail one, then I would be expelled. And 2 years of work were down the drain. Every assignment became very important. And I was doing a studies product design. So it's like an industrial design studies. And we had an assignment where I had to take a piece of garbage and turn it into a new product that you can use again. So reuse of garbage. I had a cigarette carton and I turned it into a shopping bag. So I found it at the market, the cigarette case, and it would have to come back in the same place. So I turned it into a shopping bag. Now at the end of the project, we would have to put our work at tables, and then the teacher would come in and they would go around and grade each and every project. And I was there when it was being graded. They took my work and then they went for coffee after that. I wanted to know what is my grade. So I sneaked in the classroom and I looked at my paper and I saw that it was a fail. So I was pretty devastated because I looked at the paper and I saw, for example, they would grade a topic from 0 to 10 based on design aesthetics. And that's very hard to measure. And then they would give a 5 and that's a fail. So you need to get 5.5 in order to pass. So I looked at that and I didn't really understand it at all. There were other teachers in the room that would grade other projects as well. And I looked at them and some are 7, some are 6. How is that even possible? So I had a plan. I took away my grading paper from my project. And then the teachers would come back and they would see, oh, this one is not graded, I'm going to grade it. And the other teacher went to my work and graded the work. And after that, I looked at my paper and I saw that it's actually a pass. Barely 5.5, but I made it. That is a bit of the story of Microstock as well. It's human work. It's done by people and you can never have the same outcome. And that's what we see with Microstock. I completely understand that if you grade something that's a bit arbitrary or not really measurable, you get different results. For example, there are objects that are there's either a right or a wrong answer. And that's, for example, in a math assignment. If you grade the outcome of a sum, it's either correct or incorrect. That's easy to understand, but with these subjective things, it's more difficult. What we see in Microstock as well, that it's arbitrary.
Based on the reports of thousands of files I have uploaded, in Microstock there's a similar situation at play. We upload our work and it gets reviewed based on guidelines. And this is done by humans. One file from the same batch can be accepted and the next one can be rejected. There's a way you can take back control. The answer can be found in the law of large numbers, also known as probability theory. Let's assume there's a 50-50% chance of unrightful rejection. We can compare this to flipping a coin. If heads is unrightful rejection and tails is rightful, then there's a 50-50 chance if you upload a file that it will be unrightfully rejected. However, if you would flip the coin 3 times, the chance of you hitting 3 heads, unrightful rejection, has shrunk to 12.5%. And if you repeat it 12 times, the chance of unrightful rejection comes down to 0.02%, or 1 in 4096. So my advice is this: in order to pass the class, don't blame the personal opinion of the teacher. He's just judging by his best ability on the given guidelines. He can have a bad day, while the laws of probability don't. So don't upload all your files at once, but spread them out over time in order to get that second, third, or even fourth opinion. And there's another great technique that lets you beat the algorithm of the search results. If you like to find out, please connectioneer to my channel. See you in the next video. Bye bye.